We are working on breaking news here on CBS Sports HQ. Four-star tight end Jaleel Skinner ready to make his decision as to where he will play his college football. Skinner plays his high school football with IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida, and he has been a big part of them bursting out to a 5-0 start to the 2021 season. Some of the top programs in all of college football are vying for his services, including the likes of Alabama, Clemson, and Florida. Okay, Jaleel, it's your birthday and it's time for you to shine. Take your time and tell us where you've decided to play college football.
Oh, yeah. Well, first and foremost, I want to thank God for allowing me to be in this predicament where I am now with my family and then putting me in the place where I am. I want to thank my mom, my dad for always pushing me just to be the best at everything I do and not letting me settle for anything and not letting me quit anything. I want to thank all my rec league coaches that all coached me throughout the years and all pushed me, because I mean none of them would take nothing but an excellence at where I played at. I want to thank both of my younger sisters because they've been two rocks I can always lean on. If I had anything going on in my life, if I was up, if I was down, they were always there for me. I mean, with all that being, and I want to thank my family, because my family, everybody in my family, they all have always been in my corner no matter what's going on. And I want to thank all the little kids in the world that are all cheering for me, that want me to do the best, and they all look up to me. I mean, with everything that's going on, and with all that being said, I like to take my chance to University of Alabama. Roll Tide. Roll Tide.
All right, another big get for Nick Saban in Alabama as four-star tight end Jaleel Skinner commits to the Crimson Tide. Jaleel, I'll ask you, what was the deciding factor for you in terms of choosing this program?
The deciding factor for me with Alabama was that me and my family, we thought real long and hard about how things were. And when I went on my official visit, we really loved it. We love the coaches there. We love Coach Saban. We love his family. I mean, they love us, and they always push me to be the best, and they always believed in me. And that's one thing I really love.
You talked about the fact that, this was a tough decision for you, and you really did take it down to the wire. I mean, the crystal ball, 24/7 Sports, I mean, we were talking about it before, we came on for this commitment, kind of really not knowing what this decision was going to be. We kind of thought there might be a lean towards Alabama, but we weren't exactly sure. So how close was the decision for you?
Oh, yeah, it was a very close decision. I mean, because like I was telling all the schools throughout my recruitment, like nobody's cut off. I mean, everybody can come back. Like, as you can see, I mean, I didn't include Florida in my top 5, but I mean, they came back. They never gave up. I mean, there's a lot of schools that are still pursuing me after I committed. I talked to them. They're like, we're still going to pursue you hard, even though you're committed.
How much did Coach Saban factor into your choice?
I mean, Coach Saban factored in a lot. I mean, there's not many people that just get to talk to him as much as I got to talk to him. I was really thankful for that. Really thankful for getting every opportunity to talk to him, just even without football. Me and him just got to talk about life sometimes. I really enjoyed those conversations.
Time to address the Tide faithful. Tell them what kind of player they're getting in Jaleel Skinner.
Oh, yeah, they're getting the hard worker, man. They're going to get a guy who come in first day and push to be the best. I mean, I want to be the best. That's why I'm coming to the University of Alabama.
Jaleel, guys always thank their coaches. You mentioned it in your speech before you made your decision, thanking them for what they've contributed to you. What have your coaches taught you about the game and about your talent?
I mean, my father was one of my first coaches, but him and all my other rec league coaches, they all taught me football. I mean, without them, I don't think I would be sitting here today, because, I mean, they taught me football. They taught me the game. They taught me ins and outs. And, I mean, it's just one thing that's always stuck with me, to be the best.
Jaleel, congratulations. Happy birthday. What a great birthday present for Tide fans around the nation. All the best as you push your playing career forward and head over to Alabama, and good luck the rest of this season.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
According to the 24/7 Sports Composite Index, Skinner ranks the 74th best in the class overall and the #1 tight end in his class. And he is the 4th of the top 5 ranked tight ends in the class to make his choice. And now we wait for Oscar Delp to make his decision. But Jaleel Skinner, the 4-star, headed to Alabama. Well, now that the decision is made, let's welcome back Andrew Ivins from 24/7 Sports for his post-decision thoughts. Andrew, it was up in the air, but it turns out to be Alabama. The crystal ball was right. So what makes Skinner a good fit for the program?
Oh, I mentioned it. Look, Alabama, watch them play this season. Watch that offense. You'll see them use multiple tight ends, Jaleel Billingsley, Cameron Latua. They like to, kind of create mismatches, move guys around. I think Jaleel, he's going to need some time probably to, like I said, improve the blocking. But I like this type of prospect, especially because he's going to Alabama. Look what they've done with their strength program, Dr. Matt Rea. He transforms guys and takes them to the next level. And I know Jaleel is at IMG Academy right now in Bradenton, the defending national champs, which is essentially like a college. I mean, it's like he's already started there, but they always seem to get the most out of guys. So I think the potential and the growth with Jaleel in Tuscaloosa, I wouldn't be surprised if a few years down the line he's catching some big passes on Saturdays, maybe even an SEC championship game. So I think they're getting a guy who can stretch the field, a guy who you can line up in the slot, move him around, and potentially maybe one day an inline blocker. So overall, great pickup for Alabama, and the rich get richer.
Yeah, and when you look at that 2022 class, I mean, Bama came into the day sitting, I think, 4th in the recruit rankings. Now they jump to number 1 by having Jaleel commit to them. When you look at that class for them, what are your thoughts on what they've been able to do?
It's a bunch of studs. It's really impressive what Nick Saban has done, and I don't think they are done anytime soon. This class is only going to get better. Just talking specifically about the Sunshine State, I was looking this up today. Alabama's taken 26 kids out of the Sunshine State over the past 5 cycles. That group includes guys like Jerry Jeudy, Pat Surtain Jr., Alex Leatherwood. They're going to have some more draft picks in there. So Florida has been kind of their little bread and butter, a hotbed for them. And I think they're going to keep adding. I really like where Alabama stands right now with Earl Little Jr. He's a cornerback down right in your neck of the woods in Fort Lauderdale. I think they're in a better spot than people think for Marvin Jones Jr., another blue chip pass rusher. And then there's a kid, Isaiah Hastings, who's rising up recruiting boards in Clearwater. He's a kid from Canada, big defensive tackle. So I think Alabama, they're going to keep flexing their muscle here. I've learned in this industry very quickly, do not bet against Nick Saban in these type of recruiting battles. So it's impressive. I think Alabama is going to be challenging and trying to hold on to that number 1 spot. We'll see what happens elsewhere, but you got to like what they have committed right now, especially at that tight end position, because Jaleel, he joins a recruiting class already with 2 other tight ends in there, Amari Niblack, and some other guys. So it's a solid group.
So when you see him, I mean, we talked about his size, the fact that he stands out on the field, his vast wingspan. Do you see him as a day 1 guy going to Alabama, or do you think he still needs a little bit of seasoning?
I think he's going to need some time. Maybe if he was at a different school, he would get on that field a little bit earlier. I think he's a little raw. He was playing high school football in his hometown of Greer, South Carolina, made the decision to transfer into IMG Academy. I think there was some initial growing pains there, kind of getting used to, hey, you're no longer the number 1 guy at your high school. Everyone's just as talented for you. But he told me, we were talking on the phone the other night, he wanted to go to IMG so he'd be further prepared for the college level. And that's one of the reasons why he's headed to Alabama. He told me Alabama, the best part about Alabama, it's those practices. You're going up against other 4- and 5-star recruits. So I think he's going to need some time again. But man, he's such a high ceiling prospect where if he hits, he's going to be a really, really good one.
Andrew, great stuff as always. Thanks to Andrew Ivins from 24/7 Sports joining us to discuss the commitment of 4-star tight end Jaleel Skinner to Alabama. And for more from the recruiting trail, be sure to check out 24/7 Sports for all the latest news and profiles. Industry-leading composite index giving you a national perspective on each recruit, and they drill it right down to state level as well as based on the position. Head over to 247sports.com for all that and plenty more.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.